All the ducks are swimming in the water.
Hello, welcome once again to my astonishingly tidy room. I know, I've done nothing since last time. Well, I've painted, I've done nothing with regards to the mess, which is quite astonishing, really. I do actually need to clear my desk a bit because I'm now finding it quite difficult to actually do stuff, and it's so covered in junk that, look, I'll show you a picture of it, covered in junk. There you go. As you can see, yeah. And it's quite difficult to actually then try and film anything on it because I'm constantly shifting stuff around and you're distracted by paint pots and bits of plastic and stuff sort of lying in the background, so I've really got to get to work. The reason why I need to clear the desk and make it tidy is because I'm going to do an awful lot of filming of me working on things on the desk. I know it's exciting, isn't it? It's not really, but the reason why I'm doing this is because, as I promised last time round, T-26 tank, the bane of my life. The T-26 tank. Who would think that a crappy little Soviet tank supplied to the Spanish by Stalin to help them in their fight, or the Republic, sorry, get it right, supplied to the Republic by Stalin to help them fight the nationalists who had German tanks and Italian tanks in the shape of the Panzer I and the CV-333 tankette. Yeah, right. Actually, stuff like that in this conflict is actually super weapons. Who would have thought it? So the T-26 with this 45mm gun was like, oh, a game changer. So the problem I've got is that I'm now painting, oh God, here we go, brain time, Ebro miniatures. I'm now painting figures from Ebro miniatures, and they are taller, okay? So the T-26 tanks that I've got are smaller. The tall man and small tank don't go together very well. So I'm looking to actually get myself something a little bit bigger, so I've had to change the scale. I briefly touched on scale in the last video and I won't rant about it again, but what it boils down to basically is with the figure height, you can work on the scale of the model that you're working to by the height of the figure. So looking at a normal human sized figure, 28mm, to the top of his head, not to his eyes, to the top of his head, not to his eyes. Forget about this to the eyes, bollocks, because when we measure for scale, for models and things, we don't measure to the eyes, we measure to the top of the head, because that's how tall someone is. I'm doing it again. Wind it back, Nige. Calm down. Okay, I'm calm. Yeah. So 28mm, you can work out a rough scale. The rough scale is about 1/56. So that's what lots of Wargames companies have been working on, scaling vehicles to 1/56. The Rubicon have done it, Warlord have done it, and they're the sort of two big players in the game as regards to plastic kits and World War II vehicles, because effectively the T-26 is a World War II vehicle, early war, but it's a World War II vehicle, so 1/56 is a good scale. Whereas my little Ebro man, here he is 34mm tall, so he's a little bit taller. So 1/56 scale is not right scale for him. 34mm tall is going to equate to about 1/50th scale, which is something you can work on. So what I've decided to do is boost it a little bit and go 1/48th scale, because you can buy things in that scale. So that's what I've been working on. 1/48th scale, great. So I showed this in the last video, 1/48th scale BA6 armoured car, UN models one. I've ordered some Gaz trucks in, did I just say 1/56th? I meant 1/48th. This is 1/48th scale. I'm going too quickly and my brain can't keep up. I've forgotten, I might have said it right in the first place, but because I'm so stupid I can't remember. The joys of being an idiot. This is 1/48th scale, okay? So this is the scale I'm working on or working with, because working on 1/48th scale means that I can get various bits and pieces that fit in with that scale. So 1/50th scale, you can get some die casts in that scale, and to be honest, you can mix the two together and get away with it, because 1/50th scale, the length of a T-26 tank would be, in 1/50th scale it'd be 93mm, in 1/48th scale it'd be 96mm. So you got a 3mm difference. So it's negligible, it's just a little bit, so it's not too bad, you can get away with it. And the reason why I sort of opted for that scale is because, like I said, it's easier to buy 1/48 scale accessories to go with the kits, and that's why I've decided, yeah, that's the scale to work with. Yeah, okay, I know it's a little bit oversized, but you can get away with it. Did I just say get away with it in scale? Nige, perhaps I'm mellowing in my old age. But anyway, I'm rambling now. Let's get back to where we were, and I've forgotten exactly where we were. We're talking about scale T26 tanks. So these two little fellas, I'll actually go over to my desk and we'll have a look at them on here. And he dropped him on the floor. These two little fellas, this is a Rubicon kit, and this is the original T26 that I made for Anglian Miniatures all those many years ago. This is 1/55th, this is 1/56th, so they're close in scale, so you sort of see they're roughly about the same sort of height, etc. There's a little difference, but not a huge amount. 1/56, but they're too small. They go with Mr. Rubicon, who's closer to 1/50th scale, and it just looks a bit weird when you put them together with like the little tanks, because he's like, hello little tank, I can't get in here because I'm a fat lad. So I'm going up a scale. This is where my fun starts. I'm looking for 1/48 scale T26 tanks, and there are some on the market. Cool, I think this is ace. The resin ones I found are from years ago and are like rarer than rocking horse shit. Gasoline or Quarter Kit from France did one, and you're lucky if you can pick one up. I know, not without an exorbitant price on it. So I'm like a bit gutted there. You can get a BT5 from West Models in Romania, but it will cost you the best part of a body part to get it from Romania to here, which is a crying shame. But T26, they seem to be printed ones. They're 3D models that have been printed on a resin printer, and I'm like, well, okay, I've got some printed stuff and it ain't too bad. I'll order a printed one. Where is it? I got it out earlier, now I've lost it. Where are you? Here it is. All the way from the People's Republic of China, I present to you T26 tank in scale 1/48. 1/48 scale, T26. Hallelujah, brothers, I have the Holy Grail. You know what's coming, don't you? You know exactly what's coming. Let's have a look at the Holy Grail T26 kit that came from the People's Republic of China. Over to the desk. So, here it is, my Chinese resin 3D printed T26 tank. And opening the box, I have opened this already, by the way. You get an instruction sheet, which is very vague. And you get a big pile of things. Like, yeah, okay. This is a bit cool, isn't it? I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting it to be cleaned up, but it wasn't. I can't get it out of the bag, but there you go. It came like that with loads of these support things on it, which are a regular pain in the arse to remove after the kit's cured. So you've got that, you've got this has got bits in it, you've got that which is the turret, and you've got the tracks. The tracks. I don't have them on the thing because I took them off the thing, and yeah, it was a little bit disastrous, but never mind. Let's put that box away, because you see, the thing is, I didn't get one tank. I got two, because you need more than one, don't you? So the other one I've managed to glue together. Oh, let me get him off the floor. Here he is. So, oh, for goodness sake, Nige. There we go. It's all stuck together-ish. There's a few more bits to go on there yet, but unfortunately I lost the will to live, so I haven't finished it. It's quite a nice little model. Let me drop that down there. It's quite a nice little model, but it has problems, unfortunately. You can't really see it here, but The thing with resin printing is you get striation marks on it. Really, once I get some better light, and you have a much better idea what we're looking at here. I'll try and turn my light around a bit so you can see it. I've tried sanding it here on the turret a bit to actually sort of clean it up, but there's all these lines where the sort of printing does it. I don't know how it works. It does it in like lines, basically. It dips in and out a big pot of resin and goes, neat, and it says prints that bit, neat, and it prints that bit, neat, and it prints that bit. But you get these weird lines on it, which are okay, but they're a sod to clean up. You can hear that sigh, can't you? The detail on it is nice, but the detail on it is wrong. The hatches, put the turret down there. Oh, the hatches are not flush. They stick out from the surface. They should be flush. Okay, the hatch on the back here, which is the air vent, should have slats going across it. There's no slats. They give you a big bit of wire mesh to put in there, but there's no slats, so I'll have to scratch all the slats to go across there. It's missing rivety detail. There should be rivets on the front here, across there. There should be rivets down, oh god, the mud guards there. Oh god. So I'm looking at it thinking, yeah, okay, it's a nice kit. And for your average gamer, it's all right, you know? It's all right, you can use it. But the problem is, you can't use it because it's not right. It's the wrong size. It's 1/48th. Height-wise, it's 1/48th. Length-wise, it's about 1/48th. Width-wise, it's about 1/43rd. It's too big. It's too wide. I know it's too wide because on the process of actually trying to work out what I was going to do with the tanks, I wanted to sort of get the scale option right, so I know how big it was. So I measured up. It's something that I do quite often when I'm making kits. I measured up a 1/35th scale kit to get the scale right, and then using some mathematical wizardry, I worked out exactly what size this vehicle should be if it's scaled down from this to 1/48th. I'm also in possession of, let me pull it from the bookshelf, this, which is a book that has scale plans, 1/35th scale plans. You see? Scale plans, scale. Remember scale? I ranted about it last time. I won't rant about it again. But it has scale plans, so I can actually measure off the sizes and then put them through my mathematical equation to get the scale right. So that's what I did, and this is what the scales are, as you can see. Here they're written down. And here's the great little percentage calculator that I use on my phone to actually work out the sizes, so it's really, really good. So it's the wrong size. Okay, you can get away with it, all right? I wasn't going to worry too much about it because obviously it's just a little bit wide, that's fine. But it's the fact that the detail on it is so bad, you know, that the hatches aren't flush and it's missing rivets and there's striation lines on it, and yeah. Exit 1T26. So he's not going to take the board. I can't use him because he's too small. There you go. 1/48th, 1/56th. I'd love to use my original monstrosities that I made years ago, but I can do better than this. Guess where I am going. I've got the plans. I've got the necessary skill. I've also got some 1/48 scale track units, compliments of my Chinese friends, which is the hardest bit of any scratch build. Now the good thing is, one of the kits that I got, the printing was so abysmal. I'll show you a picture of these so you can see that the nice little Chinese company are sending them a replacement set of tracks. So I've got a spare set of tracks. I'm going to be a shit because I've seen the Chinese copy stuff. They do an awful lot of copying. So I'm going to copy them. I'm going to use the track sections that they're going to send me on a scratch-built hull and turret of my own and build myself a 1/48 scale T26, and then I'm going to get a few cast up. Okay, I'm not going to sell them because that will be very naughty, but what I am going to do is get enough for my little force, and then if anybody's interested, I will sell the others that I've got left over to pay for the cost of the moulds. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I know it's a bad thing, but I don't care because I want a T26 that's the right scale. In the process of doing that, I'm also going to be doing another one too, because you can't have T26s without having an opponent for them. See, I've got another book that's got the scale plans for. They're in here somewhere. Panzer I, and we need a Panzer I because this is a bursary. I found another 1/48 scale one, but again, it's another one of these bloody printed jobs. Hang on, let me go from the desk and we'll talk face to face, boys and girls. There, back again. So, adjust my lights. Oh. It's terrible, isn't it? It's like, Nige, why? Why can't you just be happy with what you've got? I can't, you know. I put an awful lot of effort into the things that I do. I'm not a bad model maker. I knock myself quite a lot of the time because I don't have an awful lot of faith in myself. I don't have an awful lot of confidence in myself, which is part and parcel of my mental illness that I have. But I'm not too bad when it comes to scratching stuff. I can scratch build a decent model. And, you know, I'm no professional at this. People that are designing things like this really should be getting it right. Okay? Because it's not that difficult to put these things flush and to put the right rivets on. I had the same issue with the Rubicon model, you know. I mean, it's a lovely little kit, but there's stuff missing. I've had to, like, put bits on, and I'm like, why am I doing this? You know, I mean, I did open up the hatch myself because I wanted to put a little driver figure in it, but it's missing detail. And I'm like, please, just get it right. You made a kit that had 10 variants in it, but you didn't even get the basic model right. It's so annoying. Figure guys can do gorgeous things, okay? This is a 3D printed figure, okay? This is one of my Ebro guys, and I showed them to you in the last video. They're incredible. They're really good. Okay, they've got little lines on them as well, but it's not so bad that you notice them. Once you get an undercoat on, they tend to disappear or blend away. So I'm happy with that. That don't matter. But the detail on them is absolutely brilliant. They've got everything. They've got the buckles on their straps, you know, the bolts on their rifles. They're really beautifully detailed. So I've got some beautifully detailed figures. I want some beautiful I'm getting angry. Stop getting angry, Nige. I've got beautifully detailed figures. I want some beautifully detailed tanks to go with them, okay? But I'm not going to put up with this. I'm not going to have something that's, to me, is substandard, okay? It hasn't got the detail. I'd have to put the detail on myself. So if I'm putting the detail on myself, why not build one, Nige? Yeah, you can do it. You've done it loads of times before. Here, look. Here's a montage of things that I've built. Time to go to the gallery. See? So I am going to scratch build a T26 tank and cheat by using their track sections. I know it's naughty, but yeah, they are really good. They're the best bit of the actual model because the track sections are right, the wheels are right, so I can get away with doing that. I'm going to have to do a little bit of work on them to make them castable, but you know, as I'm doing as a short run limited edition 10 models out of the mould, which is about all I could probably get on the track front, then it's not going to be too bad. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to build a T26 to die for and a Panzer 1 to die for in 1/48 scale. I know, it's thrilling, isn't it? But the joy of it is you get to watch me do it because I'm going to film the process and do a little tutorial on scratch building. Why not? Makes sense, doesn't it? Because I'm doing it, I might as well film it. It's going to be quite hard to film because it's quite a delicate operation, so it's not going to be in-depth detail, but I'm going to give you an idea of how to do it and then coach you along gently. So if you want to join in, you can. Anyway, I'm off to dig through my plastic card collection and to measure up my plans and work out exactly how to build a T26. Watch this space, boys and girls. It's going to be exciting! Hopefully. But that's the beauty of this project, actually, is the fact that it gets me to showcase some of the small skill set that I have, because I will do some painting stuff as well, so you can see how I paint. I'm not the greatest painting figure. Not the greatest figure painter in the world, but I can turn stuff out to a fairly good standard. I'm not the greatest model maker in the world either, but I can turn stuff out to a fairly decent standard. And then not only that, you can then see me get them cast up, see me spray them, see me paint them, all the other stuff as well. And we can throw in the 1/48 scale kits that I've got to bring together a whole package. I've wanted to do this for a long time, but I haven't had the time or the inclination to do it. I've now got both. I'm retired, so I've got the time to actually do that, and I'm thinking on my life that if I can do one thing and share it and say, look at this is what I'm going to do. So come along. It's going to be a bit of a roller coaster ride, but hey, could be fun. Till next time, boys and girls, when it will be, God only knows, possibly figure painting, might be tank building, me just talking bollocks. But you're going to have a whole cornucopia of delights to wade through. If you like the Spanish Civil War. If you don't like the Spanish Civil War, there will be some model making stuff that you can look at anyway, because it doesn't matter, does it? It's a T26 tank. You can use it in World War II. But if you want to, you can think, I want to scratch build a science fiction masterpiece using Nigel's techniques. You can do that too. It's going to be full of rivety goodness. 40k, Warhammer 40k, rivety goodness, and all the weird tanks they got in that. I know. See? And you might have to learn how to paint crap like I do as well. Until next time, adios. Enough waffle from me. Take care, boys and girls. See you in the next one. Bye for now.